Buenos dias, VC. Yeah, 2 videos in one day, that's usually what happens. Sometimes more than that, but I think I've showed everything as far as my most recent pickups, except for the ones I'm getting ready to show now. Bought some stuff at a thrift store, surprise, surprise. This was Aaron Carter that I did not have, another Earthquake. But when I opened the CD before I left the store, I seen that it had a DVR in it. It was a DVR. It's a spring break DVR. So I went ahead and bought it anyway, because you never know what you're going to find on a burnt DVD. There's this inner thing there with Aaron Carter. So I'm still looking for this CD, the Aaron Carter CD. I watched the DVD, and it's actually, you know, the people that, it's for a family, you know, it's their home movies and stuff, and, you know, they put a lot of work into the editing and everything of it. So, you know, it was worth what I paid for it, because it was only $1.99. But, you know, if they happen to be watching and want their DVD back and want to trade me for that Aaron Carter CD, I'm all for that. I picked this up, Bob Rivers, Twisted Christmas. I have this on cassette, but I bought another one not too long ago. I found it at a thrift store a while back, a different volume. So I thought I'd buy this one because it's really hilarious. I mean, if you're not familiar with Bob Rivers, he does parodies of Christmas songs, and sometimes they're just different lyrics, and sometimes it actually sounds like an actual band, like Zeppelin, or, you know, really hilarious stuff. I wish he did Halloween music. That'd be great. And this one, Ryan Adams. I didn't have anything from Ryan Adams. I've been curious about this artist for quite a while. This one's called Gold, and it's 2 CDs. And they got some Kiss makeup on there. That's what sold me. I mean, I was going to buy it anyway, but then when I opened that and seen that, it's like, yep, he's a Kiss fan, you know, I have to have it. And then it just has the lyrics. I haven't listened to this yet. I need to put it on my iPod. But I mean, I could listen to it in my car beforehand, but I've seen this record, or this album, a long time. I think it came out in, what's this? It came out in 2001. So, Ryan Adams. Not real familiar with him, but we'll give it a spin. I was flipping through the 45s at this thrift store, and I picked up some Herman's Hermits, Moonshine Man, and Don't Go Out Into the Rain on the flip. And then the Kingsman with Long Green and the Jolly Green Giant on wand. The Beau Brummels, You Tell Me Why, and I Want You. Let's see what record label that is. Autumn Records. Louisiana Cockfight on both sides of this by a band called Nitzinger. I think that's how you pronounce that. Nitzinger. So I don't know. That looks good. And then this one, I'd looked at this one 3 or 4 times to make sure I was reading it right. It's In the Street on one side, and When My Baby's Beside Me on the other. On Ardent Records, it's Big Star. A Big Star 45, people. I mean, if anyone out there is into Big Star, you'll know what I'm talking about. I was amazed to see this. I just had never thought that they were big enough to release a single on 45, which is probably that's probably a dumb thing to think, but, you know, a lot of bands would probably release a single before the album. Some not so much. I mean, so yeah, Big Star. Hello. This one was cool just based on it's foreign, and I love the cover. It sort of looks like Heino there on the back. And I don't know, I think this is probably German. And this one was really unusual because here's the record itself. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. It came with a printed lyric sheet that someone had printed. And then it came with this picture. Such an awesome picture there. It has their names on the back, and then they had written their names, you know, on the from who's in the picture. But that's just great, isn't it? I didn't even know that was in there until I got home and was showing these to my girlfriend. It's like, oh wow, that's an added bonus. And I've said this before, you know, when you buy stuff from used stuff or the thrift store, you never know what's going to be shoved down in there. This is another one that I picked up just based on how hilarious it looks. This one's German too, I think. Dr. G. Hotman, Lickenfels. So I just love foreign records. I've said that so many times. Just something about them. That one doesn't have any presents. And then on to the final albums. This is another Paul Murray out in his orchestra I picked up recently, and this one folds out like this. And then there's the gatefold inside. It's just some real good, easy listening. This has My Sweet Lord on it, Gentle on My Mind, Melancholy Man. And then this one, Andre Constellence, I can't say that. Sounds of Love. This is a double album. There's the inside, and there's the outside. This is what sold me right here. Just because I love the fold-out ones, you know. I mean, yeah, it's a girl, but, you know, regardless, I would like the fold-out, regardless of what it was. Julie London at Home, which I didn't have this one. I don't think I've ever seen this one anywhere. I got quite a bit of Julie London. She's a cool and strange artist. It's on Liberty Records, same as Martin Denny. Don Ellis, Shock Treatment. Just an awesome cover there. Stare at that for a minute. And it says demonstration, not for sale. There's another one on here called Electric Bath. One of his other albums. Don Ellis, I think the name, it rings a bell somehow. It's on Columbia. Because I listen to the Retro Cocktail Hour. If you're not familiar with that, it's Kansas Public Radio. Daryl Brogdon hosts the Retro Cocktail Hour, and I think I've heard that artist on there. It's like easy listening, exotica, space age bachelor pad, lounge music. If you like that stuff, check out the Retro Cocktail Hour. You'll love it. I've been listening to it. It's one of the first shows that I started listening to on the internet when I got my very first computer. And I remember listening to it back then, I don't know, in the 90s I guess it was. And we had a Packard Bell computer, which was total junk. Of course, I didn't realize that at the time. But it would like buffer and buffer and buffer, and you couldn't even listen to a whole song. It was frustrating then, but now it'd really be frustrating considering what we're used to now. And I picked this Dr. John record up for 99 cents. I don't think I had any Dr. John in my collection, and I want the one that everyone shows. It has like the picture of his face from the side and the front that's morphed together. I don't know the name of that one right off, but I would love to find that one. This one's called Zuzu Man. And, you know, I'd like to have a lot of Dr. John in my collection. I don't recognize the songs on here. But can't wait to listen to this. It's on Trip Records, which is pretty appropriate. Richie Havens Stonehenge. I like Richie Havens quite well. I got a few of his. And this one was 99 cents as well. And I think it's on Stormy Forest Records. Yeah, there it is. Stormy Forest. I like to show the labels because I know that, you know, I'm intrigued by the labels of records, so I'm assuming that people out there watching will be intrigued as well. And I don't think I showed the label on the Dr. John record. It's just Trip Records. Why is that always upside down when I do I would love to get all brand new inner sleeves, like the poly-lined ones, and then I'd love to get like the clear plastic sleeves for all my records, but that would be a fortune to do that because I haven't done it. I haven't been doing it from day one. This one, they had this one at, this was at Omega Music too, and I think they had it at Half Price Books. I've seen it before, and then someone had a countdown, or like the best psych albums of all time. I don't know if it was the top 200 or, and this was on it. It's the Incredible String Band, The Hangman's Beautiful Daughter. So when I seen this at Omega, I had to snatch it up. I haven't listened to this yet, but if it's in the top 200 or maybe it was top 50 psych albums of all time, it was only $6.99, and this one is on Carthage Records. So yeah, that ought to be good to listen to. I love that label there. Look at that little insignia. That's just great. And they had another album at half price when I seen this one the first time of this band. And I should have bought that, of course. You know, what can you do? Lover's Luau, Les Paul and Mary Ford. It's a great cover, is it not? He's having a good old time, and why shouldn't he? Well, they are, actually. Another Barbra Streisand. You know, I've been picking up a lot of that. This is called Barbara 2. And I might have already had a copy of this. You know, like I said, I got copies of a lot of things that I don't remember. Barbra Streisand People. I think I showed this in a previous video because I bought this one twice. And then this one as well. Memories, Still in the Shrink. You see this record a lot. And then the last one in this video is John Hartford Looks at Life. And I think I might have one other John Hartford record. I think it's got like a riverboat on the front of it, but I'm not positive. Anyway, A Man Smoking a Cigar, Eve of My Multiplication, Front Porch, Jack's in the Sack, I Should Have Worn My Birthday Suit, Corncob Blues. That's got some good stuff on it because, you know, he's sort of a quirky artist on RCA. Got a banjo here on his knee, literally. It says, Between the Pumpkins and Tomatoes. After my first brief meeting with John Hartford, I said to myself they were right. Tomple, Chuck, and Jim Glazer had so often spoke of him. Nobody wrote, sang, or played like him. If I compared him to any artist, which would really be a mistake, I'd say his talent is unique, his songs are poetry, and he is not confused or frustrated. And it goes on and on. This came out in 1967, so the year before I was born. So that's all I have in this here video. Please check out my girlfriend's new channel. It's called Graveyard Shift. That's 3 words. Check out her her vinyl channel. It's Vintage Owl. She shows her vinyl updates, her vinyl pickups and such. And then we also have a series, me and her, on her channel called Versus, where we review records and debate over how we feel about them. Check out my new podcast channel. It's called Kiss Meets the Podcast. I do that with Chad and Eli. Check that out. You can also find us on SoundCloud and on Facebook. That's all I have to do, all I have to say, and we'll be seeing you in the next video. You know, it's hard telling when I'll show up, but it'll be soon. See ya!